That's a long intro.
Bear with me. Here we go.
Right.
Y'all ready?
Whoa.
Here we go.
Yes, I've been ready.
It's not you. It's something else over here.
Oh. It's a long intro.
Here we go.
All that dancing.
Pricilla.
Oh, sorry. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Old School Tuesday Turnup. Yeah, we are here. We are back once again. Even though I'm sorry that I was off last week, but that artist is going to reschedule. But guess what? We back here today. That's all that matters. We're back for episode 32. What? Yeah, that's how we do it. Let me stop because I've been dancing during the whole entire intro. I'm worn out. But I tell you, one person who's here and he's ready to talk, play a little piano. Y'all know I can't play piano, but he's gonna kill it for me today. But you know what? Without further ado, I'm talking about, let's bring in the one, the only, Mr. Greg Williams, the founder of Switch. He's here. What's up, Mr. Greg?
Not too much, dear lady. Thank you for the introduction. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Thank you.
That's good. Fourth.
Pardon?
How was your Fourth of July?
I spent my 4th of July in the air, traveling from Las Vegas back to Georgia. Yeah,
That's
but my
what's
4th
up.
was nice. I needed to rest after that, and I did until the fireworks went off outside of my house. But it was cool. It was nice, actually.
That's what's
And how was
That's
yours?
what's Mine's was real good. I don't like fireworks because I'm scared of them. So I really chilled at home and watched TV. That's the best way to do it.
I
So
heard that.
I was here. Yes, I was sitting there
I heard that.
chillaxing. Yeah, I was chillaxing. So I was like, I ain't going nowhere on the 4th. Yeah.
Good.
So I just want to say, you looking really nice. I'm in the hat. I see you with the hat. Got the hat smooth. Okay, I see y'all. But stop.
Thank you.
Like, you look real nice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and so do you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. I know everybody wants to hear your story and wants to hear about the days you've been at Motown and Switch. So I seen where I read you said at the age of 7, you knew you was going to be a musician and an entertainer. Not that you were 7 years, you knew exactly what you wanted. But to look back at it now, how would you say, sure, what you wanted at the age of 7, you made sure you became your success? How would you say, looking back at it now?
Well, actually, it was at the age of 6. I sang in my kindergarten Christmas play, and I got bit by the bug. The audience, once I got that applause from that thing, I just knew what I was going to do. But I actually proclaimed it at age 6 that I was going to be an entertainer. And I wound up being just that over all the years. I honed my craft. I stayed involved in various forms of entertainment and plays in school and outside of school, and wound up joining different groups and things like that till I ultimately put my own together, Switch, and things began to happen for real at that point. So I was on course. It was just meant to be what it was, in God's hands. So it just happened that way, went from there. God, you got a nice picture collection.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I was snooping all through your pages, all through your Facebook. I was in and out snooping out. I had to find all the good stuff that I know I can find of you. So, I love it when I show the pictures, and because you artists, when I show the pictures, y'all get thrown off for a minute, like, oh man, I ain't never seen that picture.
Right.
Oh, I ain't seen that in years. Yes.
Right.
So even though you say you were bit by the bug, but afterwards, after doing the plays, you were in school, what were some of the obstacles that you had to face? Because they always say success does not happen overnight. You have to fall first, and once you fall, you realize you get back up and you keep going until you reach to the top. What were the obstacles you had to face during the time?
Obstacle being black and poor. I mean, come on, let's look at that one. Poor little black kid in the ghetto. You can either go to church or go to jail. I was lucky
Mm-hmm.
enough to go to the music school, and I took music when they had it in schools back then, and
Mm-hmm.
once I was in and I could hear what I could do and feel it, then, I just stayed on course. Now, of course, there was 7 bands before Switch. Now, if we want to call them obstacles, but I chose not to. I called them learning periods. Even when I
Mm-hmm.
had to get up and leave and say, I'm sorry, I got to go. Because fortunately, I was
Mm-hmm.
never kicked out. I was always good enough where nobody would kick me out. They wanted to keep me. But, things just changed. So those were obstacles. Second of all, was trying to break into it on a professional level versus doing all the amateur local stuff. When you outgrow that, then it's like, okay, where do I go from here? Or how do I go from here? And but still, again, I don't see them as obstacles. I mean, to go to college, you got to pay. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
those things were, I was willing to pay them and do what I had to do. And fortunately, I was blessed to get what I was going after.
That's what's and use yeah, college ain't one you do have to pay. I'm pretty sure college back then was cheap because I ain't gonna lie, when I went it was expensive. But
It was not cheap back
but the
then
thing
either. Trust me, girl, it was not
oh
cheap.
it
Again,
wasn't.
I mean, Black and Pole, nothing cheap.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. You're right. But I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying, though. Back then, I mean, you had to break a lot of barriers, but I get what you were saying. And if
Yeah.
you have this dream, you gotta make sure that dream. If you want to become a success, you gotta a lot of things you gotta do that you don't want to do. But I know one thing is how does a young kid walk himself into Motown Records? Do you still remember the first day you walked in to that recording to that studio?
Yeah, but I wasn't a young kid at that point. I think I was 21. Let's see,
Hmm.
what year was that? That was 76. I was actually 23 years old. And before I walked into that Motown studio, I met Jermaine Jackson in the elevator. There's a whole story about how I formulated the group, moved from my hometown and moved everybody in with me. I got a little money to do a demo, so I moved everybody with me. We spent a couple of weeks rehearsing and learning songs that I had written. And after we had completed the demo, which we had run out of money any darn way, the studio allowed us to have one cassette. And Jody had some girlfriends who had jobs, so they bought us airline tickets, which wasn't cheap, all the way to California. And like 9 days after we got here, we were shopping around with that one tape that we were not going to let anybody have. They had to listen to it with us. And we were going to, well, there's a story before that too, because Jody and I came out of a group called White Heat, which was on RCA Records, which was signed and managed by Barry White. Now, there you go. There's that White Heat. So with that, after that was all over, is when I put Switch together. And like I said, the story of putting the demo together, going to California. Well, we were going to see attorney about suing Barry White because we didn't get a dime from that record, that White Heat record. And it wound up being in the Motown building. We meet Jermaine in the elevator as we're leaving, brokenhearted from an attorney telling us, if y'all ain't got no contracts, I ain't got nothing to work on. Can't sue Barry White. So anyway, we get a tape to Jermaine. We meet Jermaine and Hazel. We give the tape to Jermaine, and Jermaine turned us on to Motown and ultimately got us a contract. I think I went there, first time I went there was for a meeting, maybe a couple of weeks after meeting Jermaine. But, shortly thereafter, we got the contract and did a showcase for him and named the group Switch, among other things. And that's how it happened.
That's what's up. Would you say just being in that elevator that day, would you say that was fate? Because like you said, you got turned down by Barry White, and then here comes Jermaine Jackson out of nowhere. Just timing. Would you say it was about timing at the right place? You at the right time, the right moment in that
One of the
instant?
real truth of it, honey, and I've never been in denial of this. That was all in God's
Mm-hmm.
hands. My life was pretty much
Right.
planned. My whole life. That elevator, that was planned long before I got there. Yeah, it's an amazing Cinderella kind of story, though, to tell you the truth. You meet somebody in the elevator, it
Mm-hmm.
just happened to be R&B pop superstar Jermaine Jackson, and he willing to listen to your tape, and he called within 24 hours later. This is all what God had in store for me.
Right.
Okay.
Ow.
And thank you, sir.
Oh boy,
And
needs
that's
sound
why it happens.
effects.
It's that way.
So then you said you would sit there and you name the group Switch. I read why you named the group Switch. I don't know if you want to tell why you named the group Switch, but I read it.
Absolutely.
I read it somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
go please tell the fans
put
no
my,
because they
this
gonna
was
want to
time for me to
know.
put my group together. I sat on my mom's steps in Grand Rapids, Michigan, when I knew that it was time for me to stop playing with all these other bands. And I decided, well, what do you want to be, man? And I decided I want to be a record producer. Well, what's the fastest way to become a record producer? Get attention for your music. How do you do that? Put a group together. Then I thought, after having been in all these bands, I realized what I was going to need to make this happen. I wanted musicians. I wanted musicians that played an instrument. I wanted musicians that could sing as well, all of them well enough to be lead vocalists if the situation called for it. And I wasn't gonna put no ugly dudes in the group because girls don't scream for ugly dudes. So I just pulled together this. You laughing? I'm telling you the truth. But anyway, so that's what I did. I pulled all that together. Okay, now fast forwarding after meeting Jermaine Jackson on that elevator, between getting the contract, they wanted us to do a showcase for Motown, you know, where we did a little performance for Berry Gordy, Smokey Robinson, and a lot of the executives and other people that may get to work with us. The contract was going to happen, but they wanted to see what they were getting. Well, we didn't have a name. We had a name, but somebody else had it. Another actor out of New Jersey had it, so we had to try to find a new name. We couldn't find a new name. Okay, now I told you I got these guys that everybody sings, everybody plays more than one instrument. Well, in this showcase, 1 minute Bobby would be on the mic, Philip would be on the percussion, I'm on the piano, you know, and the other guys doing what they're doing. Next minute, we would switch up where Philip would be singing lead. I would go back to my trumpet. Bobby might be on drums or whatever, you know. I mean, and the other guys were switching. Eddie's on trombone, from trombone to keyboard. Tommy's from bass to singing. Jody's from drums to percussion, keyboard. We kept doing that this whole half-hour, 45-minute show. After that, we blew them away. We really did. And after that, with all the compliments that were coming through, you know, Suzanne DePass made the comment, "You guys are fabulous. I've never seen so much switching in my life." Thus the name Switch. Lightbulb came on. I said, "Hey, Switch." And it stuck. So that's how we got the name.
You already know.
Someone just made a comment. I don't know if you saw it. Someone said all you brothers were fine. Now you are right. I'm sorry, but I was laughing because that was funny what you said. Don't no women scream for no ugly man unless he got money. I don't care how much money you work. Yeah, but back then, so was one person said all you brothers were fine. So that's someone who was
Thank
noticing
you.
back then.
I'm not set up to
Yes.
see the comments, but thank that person for me.
Oh, thank you for the person who said that, for saying all the brothers were fine. So, so with the songs you all did, they never did. I don't need to be singing because I can't sing. But anyway, how did you pick was any of the songs, your hit songs, did they have any message behind it or anything pertaining to it? Like, was there a message that you wanted your fans to know to hit your hit records?
No, every one of those songs had a message behind them. It was about love, and best beat in town was because we had the best beat in town and we like to party. There'll never be another woman like you. I call your name, baby, when I'm feeling down. Girl, I'm calling your name. Every one of our songs meant what the titles kind of made the song self-explanatory. But there was messages because that's what we were about. We were about expressing ourselves. We were about helping others understand and speaking for others at certain points in time. When they couldn't tell a girl that they loved her or wanted to be with her, drop a Switch record on. You're going to get it where you need it to go. So all of our stuff was.
Yeah, that's was like, you still remember the day you went in there and you guys recorded, I'll Call Your Name. What was that momentum when you actually first got the song? Which song did you actually say you would say that to this day you liked it the most to record? Or you felt like, no, we should record this one?
I don't think there was one that I didn't. Well, I was about to tell a story. There was some that I didn't think were worthy of recording, but you've never heard them. So I wouldn't be one of the ones that you got to hear. But I don't remember Oh God, we used to have so much fun in the studio though. Just so many memorable moments in the studio. I think we had the most fun doing They'll Never Be, because They'll Never Be was a surprise. The album was almost finished, and Bobby and I lived in an apartment in North Hollywood. And late one night, he called me out of my room. I had a piano in the living room, and so we play, and that would be our part of our ritual when we weren't in the studio with Switch or in meetings and things like that. And he called me in there, and he had this song, and he played it, and immediately I said, we need to call Mr. Gordy. Barry Gordy was overseeing our project, basically. We called him. We played it for him. He said, fine. Okay. I'll call you guys back. 3 hours later, he calls us back and tells us to go into the studio the next day to record it. He said he'd called the people at the studio and told them we were coming. He wanted us to record it. We had no idea. We'd already picked the song The song You're the One for Me on the first album was going to be the album. No, I Want to Be With You, excuse me, was going to be the single. But after They'll Never Be got cut, as quickly as we finished it, they made that the single and turned around and released the album, which took 18 months. We signed in May of 77, and the record didn't come out until I think October 78, something like that.
Wow. Just to think, did you ever think then that song become a hit for music history for every generation, all the way down to my generation, to where if you was to hear, like I played in my car and play it, you turn it on and you think that's still a new popping record, it's just so lit. Yes, I said lit. It's just so lit, and there you are singing the lyrics. Did you ever think that song will become such a big hit?
Thank you very much for saying that. You know what? We were just a group of humble young cats. We had no idea. We had no idea. All we wanted to do was make great music while we could. And then they were going to put us on salary to do that, pay us money to just do that, to just make music. Come on, that was gift enough. And then turn around for the stuff to become a hit back then, darling, we was over the moon. But I will tell you this too. Another important element in what I chose in picking guys for my group. I'm a humble guy. Ain't about ego, ain't about none of them old major trips. It's about just being true to who you are and what you do, and treating people as you want to be treated. Well, I surrounded myself with those kinds of guys. So every guy in Switch, when we started becoming successful, it was like we were surprised by everything. We took it with a grain of salt, and still it was never I. It was us, and it worked. And today, each of us are thankful. We were together over the weekend in Las Vegas, at least the three originals. Me, Philip, and Eddie, because Bobby and Tommy are gone, and Jody is no longer in the music business. And we were reminiscing on certain things that happened back then too. So just a group of humble guys. So we didn't know. We're thankful though for it. Trust me.
What's one story you would like your fans to know now? Well, at least one story about Bobby or Tommy we don't know about them. Like at least one story about them that we would know.
When we got our first, we were signed to the label, and when we got our first checks, I think we got this check. It was about $6,000, and after completing the album before the record came out, and we got about $6,000 a piece. So all of us went to buy cars. Me and Jody were the only ones that had cars, but all of us went to get new cars. And Bobby and Tommy bought Alfa Romeos. Me and Jody bought Lincolns. Philip bought a Fiat. Eddie bought. Those were like middle-class cars. They were reasonable. Me and Jody, we pimpish. We couldn't get detailed. And Bobby and Tommy bought foreign race cars, Alfa Romeos. Neither one of those cats had that car for even 8 months. Bobby wrecked his, and Tommy, speeding up and down the freeway all the time, got pulled over by the police. They pulled his license. I chuckled because of that, because the Tommy said to the last cop that pulled him over, "Don't you know who I am?"
Hold up.
He said, "Yeah, you the guy that's about to get arrested." Oh God, we laugh about that today because Tommy was foolish. They running up and down the road in these brand new high end, totally too expensive uh, race cars. So anyway, it was funny.
Oh, that's funny. Do you know who I am? Yeah, you about to got it. Yeah, that's
You the
funny.
guy that's about to get arrested.
That's hilarious. That's funny. That is hilarious. Being being that you're a songwriter and being in this studio, what like what would you say what is the essential ingredient of being a good songwriter?
Knowing how to tell a story, knowing how to express yourself, being able to articulate whether it is written like this or today spoken into a tape recorder. You need to know
Mm-hmm.
how to tell a story. First, you need to have a story to tell, and then you know how to tell it. You need to know how to tell it. That is essential. And to make it, period, as a songwriter, writer, arranger, producer, and I'm all of these things, it calls for
Mm-hmm.
believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to have anybody else to believe in you. Trust me.
Yeah, most definitely. I like the way you said that. What gets us like? How do you get your juices flowing when you're in the studio? Who or what is getting your juices flowing when you get ready to write that song, to write that hit song?
Something, there are so many inspirations that would hit individuals, and everybody's inspirations are unique to them.
Mm-hmm.
Songs to me come out of the air. It ain't like I sit down here and just pick it out. But if I do sit down here and come up with something and decide to come up with something, let's see. I'm on the wrong end of the piano, so this is not an easy one. But can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear it.
And see, I can just start singing to that. Just that little bit right there, I can just start singing to it and create a whole song.
Really?
It's simple if you know what you're doing. But again, getting to your point, expounding on your point, inspiration comes from everywhere. Everybody can't play a piano. Everybody can't sing. Everybody can't write uh, lyrics. But just put your effort together and get it where you get it, and it comes in different fashions. And no one, I don't think you'll find anybody that say, "Oh, it starts with these notes," or it starts wherever it starts, and it goes
Right.
from there.
That's what's up. Since you were playing, I wonder, can we get, because that theme song we had in the beginning? Yeah, we're gonna be scratching that, and I was thinking maybe you could do a little theme song for Old School Tuesday Turnup or whatever. But I ain't gonna have you do it right now because you probably like, no, I can't. Don't do it right now. Though. I was gonna have you see if you could play a little something because I was feeling that what you were doing. I was over here like, hey, let me stop. I better stop. I better stop.
No, we
Y'all
can do
talk
that in
about
a
this.
heartbeat, Paula. We can do that. I
Yeah,
can come up with something in a heartbeat. Trust me. Yeah.
I would love that. I know Top Boy would too, but I would definitely love that. That'd be something original. I would definitely love that. But you've been in the business for so long, for all these just this journey you had in the industry and everything you have accomplished and everything. What would you say to a person just who's trying to come into the industry, a young person, for the new generation that we have out now? How would you tell them the routes to take and what they need to know to get them to where they need to be?
Well, you know what? Everybody's route and everybody's journey is unique to themselves and their situations. But you need to seek out people with like minds, people that love the music like you do, people that can possibly believe in you and what you're doing, and support you. And that could be a mama or a daddy. It don't have to be another musician or another rapper. But the bottom line is you find the outlets and the places to go that will help you further your dream and further your craft. You know, you got to be ready when the opportunity comes. So you got to be well rehearsed, and you got to have a songs written. It don't matter what you wrote about. You can write about my funky gym shoe and keep going. Bottom line is you got to have that when the opportunity presents itself. Other than that, you will get overlooked for somebody that does have it. So you got to be ready. You got to stay true to what you're doing. You got to believe in yourself. Most important. And understand that no is like cornflakes. You know, there's a million of them in the box. But you put enough of them together, you'll get a full bowl of yeses. Trust me on that one. It takes time, but it happens.
What you think about the new generation? Let me ask you.
Nice.
There's a question someone asked. I think an artist. I just recently seen it the other day, last week, and someone said has lost his ways. What's your take on that? Have you think R&B and just really have lost its ways, or is it because could maybe sampling new generation? They're up for sampling old school music has now evolved. But what's your take on all this?
Okay, did you just say evolved?
Well, yeah, but did I really say that? Yeah, I kind of did say that. I don't know why.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know why I use the word evolved. It's a word that
Okay,
just came
maybe
talk
you
to
didn't. Maybe you did. But that's exactly what I was thinking about. No, R&B
But no.
music, you know, I think what we're hearing now is what it's evolved into. And of course, it doesn't have the substance and the quality of what we used to do back in the day, but that was us and that was how we created. Now, technology plays such a major role. It used to be acoustic thing, you know. In fact, you didn't even a lot of great music came without electric piano, just regular piano and the guitar and things like. Now, not only do you have all this electric stuff, you've got computers, you've got sequences, you got one man can be a full band and everything. So technology has diminished the capacity too, because I do believe there's magic in fellowship, meaning when you get a group of people together that's agreeing, magic comes out of it, whether it be in church or in a recording studio. Fellowship, okay? I believe that. But on another level, technology has made things so simple and so easy that they didn't have to learn the stuff that we had to learn to make that same quality music. And if they don't know it, they don't have it to put into a song or into an album or things like that. So I don't diminish them and blame and say that, no, they ain't nothing. That's a lie. There's true artistry and talent in every genre. That just is. The bottom line is, I think they're the ones that really put their heart and soul into it and learn their craft. They'll excel above those that don't know how. And see, understand this too. It's called the music business. It is a business. There are businessmen making decisions on your career and your life because they make money. So they don't know or even care that much about what you had to put into becoming a talented individual. All they care about is it good enough for us to market and make money? So they buy shit sometimes just because that's what they got, and they figure they got through their machinery they can feed it to a marketplace. So bottom line is there are a lot of good talented people that we'll never hear. And then there's a lot of garbage that we're going to hear because, it's a business. It's not just about the music.
Or also, it's becoming now. It's like the talent is running. It's kind of there. It's kind of going away. The branding, you're seeing more of the girls out now. They all sound the same. They look the same. It's like, but what are you? They're not making music that makes sense. Or if you're sampling, which is not a bad idea, depending on who you're sampling, which song. But it's not music. Is just it has really changed. It's not the same anymore. And not only that, I heard people say the music business, like you said, business. Sometimes they have treated artists in the past like you're a product. Once they use you, once you're done, guess what happens? You get put back on the shelf and on to the next person. So we, for especially my generation at the time, we were programmed to listen to certain all these songs. Now, back then, I'm a '90s baby, so all that music, and now we go back and you're like, dang, what happened to this artist? What happened to that artist? And now you always find it where artists of the past they have to rebrand them, we have to redo everything because no one, especially if you go independent. What do you think about the artists who do the independent route?
That's what I think about them. Because I think they're going to not let anything or anyone stop their dream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A lot of just think they can do it themselves and can't, then they need to be with a label. But those that can do it themselves need to, if you ask me. It's your talent, it's your artistry. But you do have to learn how to get to your market.
Mm-hmm.
Those people that are going to love, respect, and appreciate you, you do have to find a way to get to them. That's what record companies used to be good for, because we made the music and they made the connection between our music and an audience. They had the wherewithal to get it to the public, to the masses, where independents don't really have as much of that as needed in a lot of situations. But I applaud somebody that figure I can do it and learns it well enough and goes after it and gets it. Ain't a darn thing wrong with that. You know, Barry Gordy is a great example of that. All the record companies around the majority of the world were, at least here in the States, were white until Barry came and decided to utilize and access what was in his community. You know, and he was an independent before he became a major. So bottom line, you know, I applaud him and I say go for it one way or the other. Get heard. You know, because ain't nobody gonna give a damn till you get heard.
That's true. What do you? Oh, speaking of Motown, you know how I remember because I remember watching the movie Temptations. Now, one thing they said was artist development, and you don't. I don't know if you noticed, you don't see that much anymore with the new
And believe
generation.
it or
Do
not,
you think?
not to cut you off, but believe it or not,
Mm-hmm,
we were the last artists to get that at Motown. Us, well, Debarge
mm-hmm,
was pretty much. And at that time, who was on the label? Debarge, Good Girls, The Boys, Shanice Wilson. But the only last ones to get it was Debarge. Shanice and them did not get it in that company. They did not. And the careers were not really, the record careers were not really that long thereafter either. Those acts I just mentioned. You know,
mm-hmm.
but we were one of the last acts to get that. And it was the Motown babies of my era, which was Switch, Jermaine Jackson, Tina Marie, Rick James, High Energy. We were the ones that got taken care of and got the artist development. There might have been 100 other acts at the label, but they didn't get the artist development. We did. And we got a limited version of it because a lot of the decision making on what Switch's image and all that stuff was rested on my shoulder. But I had the vision when I walked in. So, you know, just like we all dressed up. If you realize that groups back in the late 70s and early 80s, bands, they dressed in uniforms. They had costumes, maybe with variations, maybe not. Switch came out as 6 individuals. You know, and that was my vision. Again, that was my concept. So, you know, but that artist development thing, we were the beneficiaries of some of it, you know, and some of it we missed. Yep, see that nice picture. Very good choice. Look at that. Look like a gang of pimps.
How did you know which was just looking at this picture and you say it was your vision? How did you know which style to go with during, you know, what it made? Did you see someone out when you walked when you out the window one day walking like, you know what, I'm gonna choose that, right? How did you know what style to go with?
What style with reference to the clothing?
Like how did you know
No,
like
no, I had no idea. I always knew that I always looked good in hats, but the rest of it, we had stylists. Honey, that first photo shoot, that picture you got there, it took us 3 days of shopping and about a week of shopping and 3 days of shooting to come out with that picture and that album cover. And the stylist was with us to help us pick out who we were. And if you see those outfits that on that video came from that photo shoot. They were bought for that photo shoot as well. Because that's one of our very first television shows. So we wore those same clothes.
wow.
But it's good for our personalities. I know that I look good in suits and hats, and Bobby felt like he looked good dressed up going to church, and you know, and see, Philip was casual. That's what do you call that thing? Getting old because I can't remember the name of that thing that Philip. The smoking jacket. Smoking jacket is one back in the day. And Eddie got on a baseball jacket. Look at Tommy, he got on a vest. I mean, but these and boots, but these things spoke for our individual personalities because that's what it was about. It was about, although these guys are a group, they're individual. There's Gregory, there's Bobby, there's Tommy, you know. They wanted everybody to know us like that. After they did turn around and did that with the Jackson 5 as well. Because you got to know them as individuals. Motown felt like this should happen. And so it did. So it all fell in place. With my vision and Barry Gordy's money, we were able to make magic happen.
Okay. Did you guys do the and I'm pretty sure you guys didn't get choreographed by, I know in Temptation they had Charlie Atkins for the choreography. You guys didn't get to work with him?
Not with Charlie. And I would have liked to because I had watched Temps and the Four Tops and all the cats that Charlie had worked with. But he was kind of, doing some other things at the time. Who did we work with? Plus, we were almost into the next generation. So who was it?
Right.
I know Jamita Joe from Soul Train worked with us, but a couple other people worked with us as well. But if you notice, we were more of a band, so we didn't have a lot of choreography anytime.
Yeah. Someone just said you can tell Switch got artist development. It showed. That's what someone just said.
Well, it could have been I was just born with class, darling. It could have just been that, man, and I knew what to do. No. But thank you, because I get what you were saying.
There was something I want to go back to. You said that video we just showed, that was your first, live video performance.
No, yeah, well, that was in the group of our first. It was in the group of our first. That was one of our first. That's the rock concert, obviously. Yeah, that was one of our first. It wasn't the first.
And then you guys, I saw Tall Boy showed a performance of you. I picked a video where another show that I grew up on, but you guys are on Soul Train. Don't you miss shows like that? Too bad that we don't have shows like that anymore for the new generation. Because Soul Train was a show you could, on a Saturday, you can come watch the new upcoming artists. Look at you all. Don't you miss shows like that? And do you still remember the day you walked on that show?
Yes, I do. In fact, we were on Soul Train 4 times. And see, you said our first show, Soul Train was our first show. But what we did, we backed up Jermaine Jackson on our first show. And then we were introduced, we sang the song, I Want to Be With You, which was going to be our single. We did Soul Train before we had a record out. Okay? Because Jermaine had a show, thing coming up. He dropped a new album. He was going on and he said, well, I'll come on if y'all put my new group on with me. So then we wound up being his backup band on his songs, but featured us on one of our songs, on what they thought was going to be our single. Again, They'll Never Be became the first single. But I Want to Be With You was what we done on there. So yeah, and then we were on there 3 more times after that. We were on there again with They'll Never Be. We were on there again with Best Beat in Town. We were on there again with Love Over and Over Again. So we did Soul Train 4 times over the years. And I miss them. I definitely miss those television shows. We did about, back in the day, there was about 5 or 6 shows that we could do. Not all dance and sing. Like there was, I don't know, it's before your time, but Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas, who are they equivalent to? They're equivalent to Jimmy Kimmel and what's Seth Rogen? What's his name? There's a show that the Roots are on.
You talking about Johnny Carson? You like shows
Not
like
Johnny Carson. No, that was back in my day. But I'm talking about today. What's the show that the Roots were on? Tonight Show.
Roots. Jimmy
That
Kimmel.
was Johnny Carson's show. Originally, that was Johnny Carson's show. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was equivalent to those shows.
Oh wow, David Letterman, Jay Leno, all those shows. Like, well, but I'm surprised you all. But there was one show in particular. I grew up on another show because you had Soul Train in the afternoon. Well, afternoon, but at nighttime you had Showtime at the Apollo. I'm surprised you all didn't. I didn't find a clip of you all because everybody went on Showtime at the Apollo. I was surprised you all never made appearance there. I'm surprised by that.
Showtime at the Apollo came out maybe 10, 15 years after Switch left Motown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, in fact, I was living in New York at Showtime at the Apollo came on. Yeah.
But to know if you guys would have just made well, after the fact, it came out just make an appearance or whatever. Just some
Well, we
people
got to
will
keep in
still go
mind too.
back and just
Yeah, but Switch
yeah,
kind of split up in 1985 and didn't come back
yeah,
together until 2003. So that was a whole nother period in life. In fact,
yeah.
yeah, I wound up going off, even though I was arranging and producing and writing over at Sugar Hill Records, and I was playing with the group GQ for a couple years. I still weaned off into being more business than music during that period.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there was no Switch to talk about. I decided and put Switch back together in 2003 when I found a vocalist that could do those Bobby Debarge vocals well enough for a public to
Mm-hmm.
love them. Yeah, and love them and
Mm.
respect them. Because Bobby Debarge was one of the most unique falsettos on the planet. You know, he just
Right.
was. He was something really special. You know, and I wasn't gonna try to cheat an audience and get booed and stuff. Somebody, y'all need to stay home. Yeah, I agree. I'd have told them first. I'd have been the first one to say that nigga need to stay home. I'm telling you the truth. So anyway, I had to wait until I found somebody that was good enough. Now I'll share this
Someone
with you
said
though.
American.
Well, no, what they said.
Someone said American Bandstand. Somebody knows the shows. Someone
We
said
didn't
American
do
Bandstand.
We didn't do
Uh-huh.
Bandstand, but ironically, one of our records was picked and wound up getting rated as the highest rated record in the history of Bandstand.
Mm.
Yep.
Wow.
But we didn't do Bandstand.
That's suspicious.
Yeah. What were you about to say? You said you were about to share a story. You said you was about to share a
I forgot.
story.
That suspicious thing threw me off, completely off.
Okay. Let me ask you. This is something that's I know I heard Prince talk about. Every artist is they're owning master. Do you think it's important for artists to own their masters right about now?
When possible, absolutely. When possible. Back when I was doing what I was doing, it was so uncommon and so rare because the record companies were the one that had the money to build you, to make you happen and things like that. And they
Mm-hmm.
weren't just gonna give you give you the rights to your masters. And you know, today it's a different world. If you've already
Mm-hmm.
got your masters, if you've got the money to go ahead and do your masters, or even if you get an investor or somebody and you can do your masters, then it's wise for you to own them. And the thing is you got to let the record company know, okay, I want a deal, but I'm going to do this with or without you. When you put them in a position where they can get into something that's already existing, then you've got flexibility. You got power to make those kinds of deals. And yeah, you should own your own masters if you can. Back when I come up, it was such a rare thing. A lot of people didn't even think about it.
Mm. Wow. I know I've seen artists today. Someone got theirs. I forgot what singer that was. She got hers for free. They just went on and giving it hers. And Nita Baker, she won her. She got hers. And it's something becoming. Now you start to see artists are wanting their masters and everything. And it's like, how did you allow that to happen when you didn't, fight for it in the beginning? But like you said, I didn't think about that. No one stopped
Well, it wasn't
because
just
you're
a
too
thing of
busy making the
flexibility.
music.
Yeah, it wasn't just a thing. You know, people tell you, the thing is, it's just always, in my era and today, there's always somebody that wants to get in the music business. You can find an artist are a dime a dozen. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, if I'm the record company and I'm putting up the dollars,
Mm-hmm.
you either make a deal on my terms or go get on down the street.
Mm.
So bottom line, unless you got some strength and some negotiating power, they got it all and you're going to do it their way. But again, if you pay for your masters or get somebody to invest and you bring your masters to the table, then you can call shots like that. And that's still
Mm-hmm.
only if they want you and believe in you. And in today's marketplace, to get a shot like that, you've got to have such a social media following, 100,000 or more following you. Other than that, come on next. Just that simple.
You already
Yeah.
know.
What you think, since you said social media, what you think about social media now? Social media has become so important to where artists have to rely on social media to build up, to connect with their fans more. What do you think about having that? with social media?
I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's magic, it's essential, and it's a blessing. Because in today's world, an artist can become well known on social media alone, become damn near a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name right now, but I really like him. And I've only seen him on social media until recently. He's out touring with various known artists. You know who I was talking about, if I can remember, think of his name. He started out on social media doing these clips. He's doing these little quick little videos where he was singing all 5 parts and being the instruments and the whole thing. It'll come to me as we talk. But okay, what I think about social media, it's a godsend, to tell you the truth, because it's instant. You can become a star. You can become an old broke ass star, with no money. You can get into the game and you can play, you know? Excuse me.
You just
But
become a broke ass star.
I'm trying to tell you,
I'm not lying because that's true. Don't know that's true. There was a guy on social media, blaming on the Inca Way, the one who wears the blue hair. I seen on his post like 2 years ago. He said I had all these millions of people at the time, like 1 million followers, and here I was sitting here broke, and people didn't know. But that's just how it be, though.
that is how it be until you learn how to monetize it, until you get, see, and it's also equally important to have some business people in. If you're not one, you need to get somebody because it's the music business and the business means money.
The lie detector
Music is
test
what I can
determined
sit here and
you
do
are
all
telling the
day.
truth.
Okay? So you gotta surround yourself, if you're blessed enough to do it, surround yourself with somebody who wants to do business as much as you want to do music, but don't want to get off in there and step on your toes and be you. They want to be them and be a success. And then that way y'all all can make some money. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But social media, again, is so significant and so important because people that you don't expect to hear about you can hear about you. And they can hear about you. You pee in a cup today and they can watch it on television tomorrow. It's a whole nother thing. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this something you talk about in your book, Switch, Debarge, Motown, and Me? Like, what
You mean
is
that thing
is?
back
Yes.
there? I talk about Switch's first. I talk about it's my autobiography as well as Switch's autobiography, and it only goes up into us leaving Motown. Book 2 is on my desk now. I'm at 111, thank God, and I've been inspired again to go ahead and finish it. I talk about everything else thereafter in the second book, but I talk about being with Motown. I talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of that relationship. I talk about uh, my life and many of the musicians and talents that course of it, like Jermaine Jackson and Berry Gordy and my road dog who used to get me in trouble every damn week, Rick James, and folks like that. So yeah, me and Rick, we got in a lot of trouble together. I miss him. I was just thinking about him a couple hours ago because if we were together, our old ass would be getting in trouble now. Trust me, if he was still here.
What is one story that we don't know about Rick James? What is, because I know Rick James. That's funny. That dude is. But what is one story we don't know about Rick James? Not the, I'm Rick James, bitch from BT Awards he did. But what is one story that you have of Rick James since he like to get you in trouble a lot, and that's hard to believe.
If I told y'all Rick James I did get me in trouble now, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it, Rick, okay?
But
I'll tell
no,
you this, he was a great guy. He was outspoken.
mhm,
I'm telling you, Rick would speak his mind. He used to do crazy shit, but he was a bunch of fun. He really was. And he
mhm,
loved life. He lived from the moment he got here till the moment he died. There's so much. There was what we shared was minuscule by comparison to how much he lived before I met him and how much he lived after I met him. Because Rick
mhm.
lived, I swear he did. But bottom line, though, most importantly, Rick was a good guy. And if you shot straight, he respected you because he shot straight with you. So,
Mm.
And we don't even have to get into his talent. I think that spoke for itself. He was the bomb. He really was.
Yes, he did. Yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Now you said you working on the second book. You say you got to finish it. You say you're still working on your second book.
Yeah, I'm back on it. Yeah, I started it a little bit after I put this one out. But life has been so busy and so hectic and so many things have changed that I'd gotten off of it. I've been away from it for like about 8 or 9 months doing nothing. And finally, I got back on it maybe 2 weeks ago. And
Oh, wow.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm like up to 211 pages. But keep in mind, my first book is 546 pages. So
Ooh.
the second
Hey,
one, I'm not trying to write as much, but I will talk about
right.
being with my life as a producer, a young producer over at Sugar Hill Records, and playing with GQ and managing Debarge and managing my niece Michelle Thomas from the Cosby Show. You know who she is, don't you? She played Justine on the Cosby Show. She played Laura on Family Matters. That was my
No,
niece.
she was not Laura. That was she played Myra.
Myra. Yeah. It's on Family Matters.
Yeah, I remember that girl.
Yeah. But, I managed.
That was the show.
Yep, I had a short stint managing SWB and came back and chased my own career, so I had to back off from that. But anyway, I got to tell because there's a lot of years. My best friend in life, Cynthia Horner, and Right On Magazine. I got to, I told her talk about all of that. There's a lot up to today.
That's what I can't wait till your second book come out. I'm pretty sure somewhere something tells me I'm gonna put this in existence, Greg. But something I think Top Boy agrees too. Somewhere you're gonna put there way later on in the pages that you did Old School Tuesday Turnup, or somewhere you just gonna throw us up. Well, just try to slide that in there a little bit. You're just gonna throw it up in there a little. I know.
You know what I learned years ago? I learned years ago, if you don't claim it, it ain't gonna never happen. So you claimed it. So let's see where it goes from here, okay?
Look, I'll tell you, honestly, I mean, like you, the age of 7, your dream, and it became a success. I dreamed something, and I achieved it last month. I was down in Atlanta with Top Boy, and we was at the Black Music Honors, and I had to give up watching a live taping of the show, and I was on the red carpet, and that was something I always wanted to do, was doing interviews, the Whispers, Karen White, Mary. So for that dream, I spoke into something, and I told people on my Facebook, I showed the video clip, and I said, the one thing, if you knew who I was, that was always my dream, to be on the red carpet. So if you speak things into existence, you'd be surprised.
There you go.
Yes. And so that's why I'm like, I'm going to just slide. Since you said second book, I'm like, let me slide Old School Tuesday Turnup in there somewhere. And if I speak it into existence, and don't say, before you know it, I'll be reading the book and there's Old School Tuesday Turnup, Pricilla Watley. I'll be like, Top Boy, you remember that? We had Greg on and I told him. And here I am. I'm just throw it right up in there.
Well, the truth of the matter is, once I get the next book out, you're going to have me back on there and you're going to get to read it for yourself. See, that's what we're going to do.
Exactly. That you are, Greg, anybody who does the show, I tell them, you all are now part of the Old School Tuesday Turnup family. You're family to us, Top Boy. Now, you now family to the show. That means you could come back on anytime. You can sit here, hey, Pricilla or Top Boy, I need to promote something, you let us know, but just give us 24 hours in advance, you know what I'm saying? Just show up, and you don't have to do all this. We just sit you through a recording, I don't know about sound check, I don't know, Top Boy, I got to figure something out. But just let us know. You're part of the family now. You're part of the family. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Speaking of biographies, you have the book, but I'm still trying to figure out. I was one of them people who watched. How did it happen with the Bobby Debarge story? How did that wind up happening? And I'm like, what is this? This movie could have been way better. How did that even got let go like that? That movie just come out the way it did. It's like, did you feel like you didn't have a say-so of how you wanted to be told, or?
Okay, you know what? I think I have used a little profanity on your show already, so I'll try to refrain from using too much of it.
We don't care.
Well, I do. So I think I'll try to refrain from saying too much of it here. But we can start by saying my thoughts on that movie. It's a piece of shit. They should have never put that out.
Right.
It's straight garbage. It's
Mm-hmm.
lies. Not only was I nor any other members of Switch questioned about that book prior to it coming out, I mean, that movie prior to it being even shot or written, they did not ask one of the Debarges for input either. They only got input from the person that they had to get legal rights to do it, and that was Bobby Debarge's wife, Terry, who did not meet him until a few years before he died, after Switch. So how can you tell a story that incorporates all of that, and you don't even know the damn person, other than just taking what she says, who didn't really know? When at the point in time that they were writing that story, this book of mine was out. So you can at least go to the source and find out. But even other than that, no, go to Bunny or Mama Debarge or Eldra and try to find out some accurate information. Well, they did none of the above. And this guy who wrote this thing claimed to know us. I looked at Philip and Eddie in the face. Y'all know him? I don't know this guy. They said, no, we don't know this guy. We don't know this guy. So, but he felt he knew enough of the Debarge story to write it. That's a piece of garbage, and it should be burned at the stake. I've spoken.
What kind of story? What if you had the opportunity of BT Networks or Fox Soul or Lifetime? If you had the opportunity to rewrite a better, because nowadays with artists like with Whitney Houston, they had so many movies about her. If you had the chance to really tell the Switch, movie how it should be told, what would be the title and how would you want it told for a movie?
Switch, Debarge, Motown, and me. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes, yep, sure did.
Because the truth is in there. The story is in there, how it started and how it ended, basically, with the Debarge element in it. That's in there. That whole story is in there. Now, I don't know if that would be my title. I don't know if I would, but it would have to be based on this, because this is where the facts came from, with that in mind. And there are so many outlets out there, and there's people talking to me about doing this now. Believe it or not, I'll say it. I don't want to jinx it, but I do have to tell it. I've been in conversation with Columbus Short about him producing this thing. You know who Columbus Short is, don't you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're talking about it. We were just on the phone a couple nights ago about it. But he's not the only one that's talked to me about making a movie out of this book. But I'll be honest, sweetheart. I'd love to be the one to bring it to life. But I don't care who does, as long as they tell the truth. As long as it ain't a stack of lies. And as long as Bobby's head don't look like it did in that damn movie. That wig. That was wrong. That was wrong.
It was a hot ass mess.
Yeah, it was.
Who would you get to play Bobby Debarge? That'd be who would you get? Would you go with an unknown?
I probably would, because I don't know who's young out there now. There may be somebody out there, but I don't know who it would be. But just like it took me 20 years to find a Keeley to step in Bobby's shoes singing, I wouldn't take that long to do a movie, but I would be on that kind of search, that same kind of search. Bobby Debarge was a unique, special individual with special ass problems. And with that in mind, I would pick somebody that could depict him, that could, let the world know who he really is.
Yes, that's. I hope it comes out, because I learned if you don't tell your story, why are you here now? Who's going to tell it? And who's going to tell it? If they do tell it, make sure they tell it the right way. Yeah, you got to be accurate about movies.
That's what
even
you
though
want.
because if you think about it, Temptations. Well, of course, they got that from Otis Williams, because his book, and it turned out to be one of the best good movies. And then more New Edition. Well, they're all here. That was a 3-part.
Yep.
I could see Switch being a 3-part mini movie. Mini movie. So if you tell it while you're here, they should allow you to back it up, tell the story, and tell it the way it should be. Because fans, they want to know, like.
They should want you to, but they don't always do it.
Mhm.
Just like TB1 just throwing something together like that. Not cool, y'all. Not cool. And somebody else was supposed to do it, direct it, and she called me. She
Mhm.
called me and asked me would I sit with her and advise her on the movie, and I told her yes. But they weren't offering her the right kind of money, and she could work. And so therefore, she turned it down, and I, of course, was no longer to be a part of it. And so they went on with the
Mm.
people that they went on with and come up with this stuff.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Look how long it took. I remember I watched Aretha was on the reel one day, and I remember when she was alive, Aretha said it took years to have her movie, but she was like, I want my movie told right. And she picked Jennifer Hudson. Then it came out, and guess what happened? It became a success. So you got to
Yeah.
tell the movie. You got to tell, if you're gonna tell it, you tell it right. Don't be half-assed in a movie and everything. No, that's not what the fans. We don't want to see that. My
No,
cousin
they
just text saying. My cousin just text saying she down in Dallas. She was like, "He is right though. That hair was a hot mess."
don't.
She just texted saying, she
And,
was like, she
and you
like,
know
he's
what?
right.
I'll
That
tell
hair
you
was.
something else too. I watched the movie, and I like Lloyd because, and
Uh,
people ask me, well, how you was depicting you? I said, well, he wasn't depicting me. He was depicting that made up ass Greg Williams. That was not me. I said, but if I have to talk about his acting, I think he was good. I think he did good.
yeah,
So
most definitely. Yeah, it just, I don't think it was just more of the story, but the people who played, they did acting was okay, but it was just not the right. Yeah, it's just it wasn't formatted right. You're like, y'all could have did better. Y'all just, yeah,
just a
you,
joke.
you see how, yeah, most
And
definitely you got to do it
if they
right.
didn't talk to any one of us while they were writing that thing, had they talked to just one of us, we could have corrected a
Hmm.
lot of that false stuff in there. But no, and it didn't have to be me because again, I don't trip. I mean, my ego at the bank. Trust me, girl. The rest of it don't
Oh,
matter.
I know.
The rest of it don't matter. So with that said,
Yes,
he could have asked anybody that was on the inner circle at some point in time, but he didn't. So anyway, it is what it is. If I
yeah,
get the opportunity
yes,
to do
yes.
it, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to tell the truth, as I did with that book. Every word of it is true.
That's right.
And I got to tell you
That's
this
all.
too. People after
Uh-huh.
reading my book, they said, Greg, there was a couple of them came to me, it was different, but they came to me and they said, Greg, why'd you throw so-and-so under the bus? I ain't gonna tell you who so-and-so is. But they said, why'd you throw so-and-so under the bus in your book? I told them, I didn't throw them under the bus. That's where I found them. I just told you where I found them. Anyway, we'll leave
Uh,
that right there.
Oh, hell no!
what kind? Let me ask you.
What?
Let me ask you this last question. What
Yes,
kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
the kind that I have, thank God. A kind, I want Switch's legacy to be about a good, very talented group of men that dreamed together and made it together and still remain friends to this day. I think we did something musically that a lot of acts didn't get to do. And I think we left something, just like you were asking me from the very beginning. Did we know that our songs would last as they have? I'm paraphrasing, but they would last and have the impact that they have. We had no clue. We just wanted to be the best we could at what we did. And look at it. We got babies and grandbabies and great grandbabies listening to our music and loving our music. I don't know if you guys know this, but Drake wrote a song recently, came out in September called No Friends in the Industry. And what does he add to that song? I Call Your Name, which Bobby Debarge and I wrote. And I listened to Drake's song, and it's different. I mean, and people think the world of it. It has over 100 million streams. Okay? And people
Hmm.
think the world of that song. And I like the song, and I am the first name when it list of writer credits, my name is the first name listed. So you know what that means. That means ka-ching. That means, okay, I might get another little house out of this or something. But more importantly, what it means is that a generation has bought into something that needed 40-some years ago. And I'm thankful for that. So the legacy of Switch lives on through others, and I could not be more thankful than I am right now. It helps to not be broke too, though.
Oh my God. That's what's up. That's what's up. Where is this week? Are you guys playing anywhere this week that you want your fans who are watching to know? See if they know. So if they're you be in their state, they'll know to come see you guys this week. Are you guys playing anywhere?
No, we just left Vegas. Just got back from Vegas yesterday, and sadly enough, that show got canceled. But we do have shows coming up in Houston, Lynchburg, but not right away. Their shows will be around. In fact, let me promote this real quick. If you got anything of which yesterday, today, and tomorrow, come to my website, www.switchentertainmentworld.com. So, because everything's there, videos. In fact, the unsung episode that we were on is on there. Videos, our tour dates, information, our records, even our merchandising line, which I have caps and T-shirts and my book and a couple other little items. So go to www.switchentertainmentworld.com and check us out. And you keep up with us, because I know we're coming to your town sooner or later. I'm talking about a 10-city tour right now with Karen White and O'Brien, who we were with over the weekend, and Yarborough and people, and my partner Glenn Jones, and a bunch of us are going to be hanging and doing stuff together. So y'all keep your ear open for me.
Karen White, that's big sis from, she just actually, I was at the classic R&B, whatever. Anyway, I was anyway.
Yeah.
It next thing, well, was I got notification Saturday, and it was like Karen White mentioned my name in her video. I went back and she thanked because I had given her this card while I was in Atlanta, because she showed to last year in January, and I wasn't expecting this video. I was damn near in tears over the video and everything. I was crying in tears. And then next thing, and then I was just like, oh my God. And then of course I was at the Black Music Honors last month, and the next she come over, and I got to interview her again, and it was just to know you're gonna be on tour with my sis. Oh man. And I hope you guys come to, because I'm here in Kansas City. I hope you guys get to come here.
We got to be coming to Kansas City. We got to come to Kansas City. Yes, darling. And you know what? And Karen and I, we had a reunion this past weekend, because I've been quite a few years. But I've known Karen since she was 17 years old. In fact, on her video, she's got a video, whatever happened to Karen White, and it's on YouTube. If you pull that thing up, it opens up talking about how she used to sing with Switch. Trust me. So she and I go way back. That's my girl.
That's before we go, you think you could? Someone earlier asked. Someone asked for your social media info. Someone just wants to know. Your fans want to know. Someone said, please give something about social media information. Where can they find you on social media?
Absolutely. First of all, Facebook, you can find me, Gregory Williams. And there's so many Gregory Williams, so you have to look for the Switch album covers. Okay? So you have to look for the Switch album covers. I think I got 3 of them as my profile picture. Okay, on Instagram, Switch Entertainment LLC. On Twitter, I'm Mr. G. That's IM-Mr. MISTA-G. So you'll find me on all of those that way. And then Switch Entertainment LLC on Facebook, but there's Gregory Williams on Facebook also. Not to mention there's various other Switch groups on Facebook. So I'm on there about 4 times. But I did tell you on IG, I am Switch Entertainment LLC, and on Twitter, I'm Mr. G. So please come on, holla at the brother.
That's what's up. Before we go, can you? Someone asked earlier, they wanted you to play the piano again. If you can you give a little bit of? I'll call your name on the piano real quick.
How about, but I can't sing it.
That's funny.
So this is going to be Guess That Tune. Let's see. It's no mystery. Your love holds the key to bring out the best in me. Love me over and over and over again. Over again.
That's to
Rusty.
say, yes. Yes.
I did it.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. All right. I hope that person, someone asked, when a fan asked, what's the name of your book again? I hope they see Switch Debarge Motown and Me. They're trying to go. So we got it sitting up here for them so they can see
And let
it.
them
So
know
they
that's
know
on
to
my
come through.
website. If they want an autographed copy, buy it from my website. You can buy it from Amazon, from Border Books, from all of them. So many of the sites you can buy it. You can Google my book and you can find it anywhere. But if you want an autographed copy, go right there to that. That's my website right there. And you go there to the website and you'll find it. And say you want an autograph, make sure I got the name along with the address and all the other information, and I will sign it and send it out.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, Greg, this part of the interview was done, but there's a game I like to play with. I play with every artist. It is just 10 questions, 60 seconds. Like, you see Steve Harvey, Family Feud, but this is old school Tuesday Turnup edition. So I see
Okay,
here
cool. I'm with you.
as, all right, Top Boy, you ready? All right. Let me know when the music starts. So we just play as 10 quick questions. They're going to go by real quick, real easy.
A detective test determined that was a lie.
I'm gonna avoid that at all costs, okay? Tall boy,
Right.
keep your finger away from me.
Uh-huh. All right. Favorite ice cream?
Vanilla.
Favorite dish?
Pasta.
Favorite movie?
Godfather.
Favorite
The
comedian?
original. Richard Pryor.
Favorite love song?
I call your name.
Favorite color?
Royal blue.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise. Brand new day.
Chicken or ribs?
Chicken.
Grits with sugar or grits with salt?
Oh, shame on y'all with that sugar. Salt. Black pepper.
Name one artist in one group who should come on Old School Tuesday Turnup.
Glenn Jones, the artist. And Function, maybe. The group.
Okay, so pick another artist, because Glenn, he already done been here. You already did it. He already did the show. Gotta go with someone else.
Do you know you just froze?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you my screen completely froze up. Except, well, yeah, go on.
Name another artist. Glenn already been here, and we already have Felton Pilots on from Confunction. So you gotta go with another artist in another group. We already did them.
Do I really have to go with another artist in another group? Okay, Karen White, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody who I can pick up the phone and call for you.
We already did Karen White. Remember I said she was here last year? She already did Karen White.
Girlfriend, what about, okay. What about my partners? Lenny Barcade. Williams and the Barcade.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a group. That's the group. Okay.
No,
that's a good one.
Solo artist Lenny Williams. You know who Lenny Williams is, don't you?
Yeah, because he was here last year around this time.
Huh?
Lenny was on here around this time last year.
Oh.
You brought it out. I already had him. Lenny
Wait a minute.
was in July of last year.
When I call my girls, the Mary Jane girls, Maxie now.
I know Maxie B. Yes, call Maxie. Maxie will tell you. I know Pricilla. She gonna tell you. I've been called. I love the Mary Jane girl.
And I'll tell you
That would be
somebody else
perfect.
is listening in action, and somebody else I love deeply, Joyce from the Good Girls.
Joyce from the Good Girls. Okay, I know the Good Girls are. Yeah,
You don't know the Good Girls.
Yeah, look at Top Boy. He just sit there. Look,
because it was longer than a minute. I told y'all it was gonna be longer than a minute. Y'all told me I was. The lie detector said what?
Lie detector test determined that was a lie.
He did that.
Well, it was said 2 seconds, and he was at the last question. But when he said Glenn Jones, I'm like, I already did him. He said Karen White. I'm like, I already did her. He's like, Lenny. He was here around this time last year. You saying names? I'm like,
I think the Barcades is great. That for the group.
Yeah, Barcades is good. No, but the Mary Jane girls off. I know Maxie.
But you said name one person though, so you need one person.
Oh, you need to wait. Yeah, we need to name an artist. Name
one artist.
One artist.
I was trying to get around. I was just.
He trying to pick up the phone for you. That's what he trying to do. But the people he's trying to pick up the phone.
Exactly what I'm trying to do. Who all do I know? And I know
Jermaine Jackson.
Jermaine's in
Angela Lampert.
Oh, we can't do one from the. He where?
And Jay King is with Club Nouveau, so you don't want Jay. You want the whole group.
I know Club
Nouveau.
I thought what you call is in there right now. Sam was in. I thought Sam was in that group now. Club Nouveau or something.
Yeah, Sam's still in there, and James in there, and Val's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He said Jermaine.
About those solo artists.
So.
What would you say about Jermaine? I didn't hear you.
Oh, Jermaine's he's out of the country.
We can still bring him in here. We can still bring him here.
He's inaccessible.
Oh.
He ain't gonna do it. They did that show with all his brothers one time for that reality show. He almost didn't want to film for that. Like, I was watching it. He almost didn't want to film. But it was a good show though.
Can you tell us a little bit about Susan the Pass? What she means to you and all that?
Well, you know what? I like Suzanne, and I've worked with Suzanne, but I can't really call her a friend as much as I can call her nice shot, much as I can call her a acquaintance and a coworker. But she was significant to my career, I can tell you that much, and in positive ways. Suzanne and I ain't never. Well, I was about to say we ain't never sat down and broke bread. Hell, I done stayed up in her house. We definitely have. So I take that acquaintanceship back. Yeah, I consider us friends. It's just been a lot of years between us. But yeah, I'm closer with her cousin, Tony Jones, who was her right arm in everything she's done over the years.
Gotcha. What do you think of this new technology now?
I'm in awe of it. I'm trying to learn as much as I can to keep going. But I'm in awe of it. And its uses. If talented people know what the hell to do with it, knuckleheads know how to screw it up.
I can't even find a sound effect for that. That's what's up. That's what's up.
She'd be a good choice. Susan the Pass would be a really good choice for an interview, because you never hear her interview. That's be a great interview.
God, and the knowledge you get from Suzanne, she's brilliant. Ain't no two ways about that. She's brilliant, and she's quick-witted. Yeah, that would be an excellent choice for you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Male artist, one artist. What about Steve Arrington from Slade?
That's a good one.
I heard of that group. Yes.
Because Steve's back out there kicking butt now. I'll tell you somebody else who would be good.
He just did something with Teddy Riley like 2 years ago. He just did a new song with Teddy Riley. And then
Steve is a beast.
Steve is all over the place.
Yeah, he is. And a great guy. I mean, one of the nicest people you ever want to deal with. We've done cruises and shows together, and that's my dog.
Yeah, that'd be a good
one. But I'll tell you somebody else that you might like. Skip Martin. Do you guys know who Skip Martin is?
Yeah, I heard it.
He's a man and was for Kool in the Gang. He's a monster. He's got a new record he's doing. So anyway,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love it.
cool.
Me too.
All right,
Shoot,
y'all done with
this is
me?
what the show is about. No, we gotta talk to you real quick.
We got to wrap
We're
it
gonna
up.
wrap
There
this
you go.
up. I'm gonna wrap it up right now. We're gonna talk to you real quick behind the
Oh, I
scenes.
thought you had.
But we're gonna
Okay.
wrap it up. Yeah, we like to talk to our artists behind the scenes. Though the fans love it that you're gonna be picking up the phone and give me someone. See, they like stuff like that. See, one girl said the Mary Jane girls, they would be a good Tanya Blazer. And someone Tracy, they said yes, they love the Mary Jane girls. So got a lot of women in here. They want Mary
They got
Jane
a story to
girls.
tell
You know,
too. They the bomb.
What was your experience overseas? Can you explain that?
You want to hear something crazy? Switch never went overseas. I've only gone overseas with Debarge as his manager, and we went some everywhere. So I've enjoyed it. I was intimidated. I was fulfilled. The places we went Africa, Thailand, Philippines. Of course, we've done every damn island. From Jamaica to Aruba to Bermuda to all of them. So and they were all great experiences per se. But as an artist, I've been, which is a shame of it. I'm thankful Switch still got some more life in it, because maybe we will go somewhere.
Where were you when when your song was first played on the radio, and what was your thoughts on that?
Well, first time I heard it, me, Philip, Eddie, and I think Bobby was in the car riding to rehearsal. And we all screamed like 12-year-old sissies and got out the car and went to dance.
I don't even have a sound effect for that one. I got to find something for that one, bro. I got to find what they say. Hold on, I think I got something.
Help me. Help me.
That's all I could come up with. Help me. That's it. So hearing your song on the radio now, I mean, quite naturally, radio play helps a lot. But I mean, any advice on? I mean, we know streaming is where it's at, but I mean, your thoughts on radio and getting radio play versus just building that audience through streaming. I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but
Streaming is where it's at today. But you get closer to your people on the radio if they play your music on the radio. It's more personal with your music. If you have the chance to get on radio, you should, period. Streaming is instant, but you don't make a fraction of the money with streaming as you did with radio. And not that was a lot, but
But
I think I still see radio as an essential.
Well, I'm going this way because you know that if you're signed with a label, you have a more of an opportunity of getting on air as opposed to you being independent. So those
Right.
independent artists, they're unheard of, or I'm not gonna say they're unheard of because they're famous and they're pushing numbers on social. But I mean, it's like, how do you get them on the radio if they're not signed with that label? I mean, payola is real, so we're not gonna go in that lane, but you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And you know what? You got to pay to play. It's just that simple. With radio, you got to pay to play. Social media, you may get lucky, but still, truth of the matter, payola lives well in streaming as well. It really does. You got to play to pay because they don't have to play you. You have to give them something. It's some kind of incentive to play you. And most of the time, it's just money. But okay, you know what? Now I can see people talking. How do artists make money from streaming when we download your song? Artists get a percentage. Artists get a percent, but it's so minute. It's like
Point
when I
zero
was
zero
getting
zero
back-
zero one. It's like a penny or a half a penny for
Yeah.
every play.
Thank you. Or less than that, far less than that. I mean, for example, let me tell you this. Drake and the song I was telling you about came out in September. Last time I read, it's been a few weeks, but last time I checked on the streams, he got over 100 million streams. That only represents like $5 million and change. With radio, we could make, over with 100,000 plays, you could like maybe pick up $40,000, $50,000. Well, not that much, but maybe a tenth. Let's say a tenth of it, of what it was. But you get robbed by streaming these days. You can make money, but you got to have a whole lot of streams to make money, which translates in you need a whole bunch of records out there to make any money. It's robbery, those guys. Today's record industry is robbery, but they will find a way to pimp you. No matter what, people will pimp you. They turn you into hoes out there in that music business.
Wow. Wow. But you are right about that.
All right, Pricilla.
Yeah. Called the music business. You bring the music, they give you business.
Yeah. And that means that white thing, half these female rappers out here, they shaking in and out of everything so they can be seen more, and the talent just go down the drain. Like, I don't care about you shaking. I don't give a damn about that. I want to hear you rap. I want to see if you got the talent. You can rap what you saying. Because then y'all get on these award shows, you lip singing, you lip rapping.
I can't see
like
you shaking in no string.
What you think? Oh, what about I'm surprised. I know DJ Cassidy did Pass the Mic. I can't wait till he bring you all guys on so you guys can do Pass the Mic and maybe do they doing them verse battles. What you think
That's
about
what
the
I was
verse
going to
battles?
tell you. We're in talks about doing verses now. They're just trying to find somebody who would be comparable to Switch. I told them Mint Condition might work. We tossed that around. Who else did they throw back at me? They threw somebody back at me. But we'll see. It's in dialogue now, man.
Yeah, that's well. You need some. They pick people in the same genre or the same. I don't know who can be good for Switch.
That's what I
that's
said.
hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. But see, we fit two genres. We're a band and a group. And that's not easy to find. So.
No, it's not. Pretty much not. Not at all. Not at all. All right, Mr. Green. Thank you for this interview. Thank you for being here. Everyone go get his book, Switch, Debarge, Motown and Me, out everywhere. Go to the entertainment, the website he said, to go look it up, go get that book. I'm gonna get one myself, Yes, there it goes. Switch, Debarge, Motown and Me. All Greg Williams, he told his story. That's his story he's telling, letting you guys know right now. And here's site, go in a Switch Entertainment.com, switch out. Go get it. Go get all the merchandise. Yes, go get all the merchandise now. And thank you, Mr. Greg, for being here. I love having you. Thank you for telling your story. It was a fun time, and thank you for playing that piano. I mean, I enjoyed that. That's what I like. That's what I'm talking about. And thank you for you're now part of the Old School Tuesday Turnup family. Yes. Well, me and Tom Boy. Well, yeah, we family. So thank you for just being here, and I appreciate you and everything. Everyone, unfortunately, we will not be here next Tuesday. Those artists rescheduled. So I will see you guys back here July 19th. Mr. Greg, you know this next group we're gonna have on July 19th. The Delphonics will be here. Yeah, Delphonics.
Nice.
La. Yeah, let me stop.
Nice.
Yes, that's Mr. Greg. That's how I do it. Delphonics will be here 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. July 19th. You guys do not want to miss. Well, thank you all for watching Old School Tuesday Turn Up. And I'm Miss Watley. That was Tall Boy over there acting a fool with all the voices and everything. That's what he do best. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, I'll see you guys back here July 19th. Until then, you guys enjoy your Tuesday night. Enjoy your weekend. I'm out. Peace.